Me and my co-worker, see our shirts. We going to see the Terrifier.
Terrifier. So ready.
So, what the hell did I just watch? What's going on, y'all? I just got through watching Terrifier 3, the third installment to the Terrifier series, but technically it's like the fourth installment because there was a short film for Terrifier to kind of kick it off, and then it became a full movie with Terrifier 1. Now, Terrifier 3 picks up where Terrifier 2 left off, and I'm happy they kind of stuck to the story in a way. You know, if you watch the whole Terrifier series, then you know that Terrifier 1 really didn't have a storyline. It just was this deranged clown that nobody knew anything about, and it was just a dark, independent, low-budget film that was just kind of weird and disgusting, and it kind of left you feeling like, ugh, like, I like it, but I don't think I should be liking it. It kind of left you in a state of confusion in a way. And I think Terrifier 1 gets a bad rep because it's mixed reviews with Terrifier 1, which I don't understand. I think Terrifier 2 was so much better than 1. People just kind of like to brush Terrifier 1 off. But if it wasn't for Terrifier 1, we wouldn't be at Terrifier 3. I mean, I'm just saying. So, like I said, we pick back up with where Terrifier 2 leaves off with Sienna and Jonathan surviving Art the Clown. Everybody knows them. They're famous. Sienna, she's in like this psych ward or whatever, and she's getting out and getting back into the real world. And you see her going through the PTSD, and she's dealing with like battling through reality and what's not reality, because she's having these visions. She keep on like, you know, having flashbacks. So she's like in this state of confusion almost. And, you know, if you know anything about horror movies, you know how people are receiving her. I don't have to go into too much details so we won't spoil too much for the people that haven't watched it. I think Terrifier 2's story was way stronger than Terrifier 3, if I must say so myself. Now, some people will ask, did Terrifier 3 live up to the hype? Yes, I think it lived up to the hype as far as what we know Terrifier to be. Did it live up to the hype as far as the storyline? I don't think so. To me, the storyline was a little weak. It was a little shaky. It was a little mild. You know, Terrifier 2, it just, you got these characters. You got this backstory on these characters. You still didn't know who Art the Clown was. And I must say, even with Terrifier 3, it's still a mystique to Art the Clown. We don't know much about him or his backstory, but one thing we do know now, he is some type of demonic force. They brought back Samantha, if you remember Samantha. She was one of his victims that was on getting interviewed at the beginning of 1 or 2, I can't remember. But it goes through, it focused more on Sienna in this. Jonathan was in the movie, the little brother, but me personally, I think they could have left his ass out. I really don't even understand why he was in the movie, if we're being honest. But it goes through the, like, Sienna, she's going to her aunt's house, her aunt and uncle's house, and she's around her little cousin, and, you know, it just unravels from there. I will say this. You can tell it's still almost like a low-budget shot film. You can tell like it's not a big motion production company behind this movie. But I will say it doesn't lack with the kill scenes, the blood, the gore. You can tell the budget was specifically put towards the kill scenes, the blood, the gore, the graphics. Because it's times you watching it and you know it's a movie. You know it's not real. But I even saw where the director of Terrifier, the creator of the movies, he was even saying that they had like overseers and like people on set, like pretty much like watching them and securing them and making sure, like kind of like they had like, you know, like overseers, just watching them and making sure that nothing was real. Don't know why. None of the kids. Okay, so in this movie, they deal with kids, and you know, most times you don't see kids get killed in movies. They're pushing those lines. I'm gonna just put that out there. They're definitely pushing those lines. The opening scene is one of those situations where it's like, it's either you gonna sit down and you gonna watch this movie, or you gonna walk out. Like, you'll be like, look, I'm not watching this shit. The opening scene is not over the top, but they start off pushing lines that make you have to make a conscious decision on, am I gonna really sit and watch this movie? So he said that they was making sure none of the kids left with like any trauma from the movie. And I was like, damn, like, you know, it's almost like I can see them like, this movie gonna be banned in a lot of places. I don't even know what the hell this movie is rated, and I don't care. I was just shocked by how much they were able to show on camera in a movie theater. That's what kind of, you know, took me back. I don't think I've seen anything this gory in the movie theater since like Saw 3. You know, that was like the worst one out of the installment of the Saws. So we get back to Art the Clown. You find out a little bit more about him. And you find out, one thing I was upset about was the little girl didn't come back. But they did bring Samantha back, and Art the Clown and Samantha was the duo we never knew we needed. Art the Clown is kind of like the Jim Carrey of slasher villains. Like, he has all the great qualities and he has all the qualities and he has no cons to him. Like, he has this mystique to him. He doesn't talk. Some of the greatest slashers don't talk. Michael Myers, Jason. He has the wit of a Chucky or a Freddy Krueger, but he's not a pervert like Freddy Krueger. He's just an all-around slasher. Like, he's like the perfect slasher icon. So I can see why a lot of people have been drawn to Art the Clown, because he has this way of making you laugh and making you find humor in these gruesome murders that he's committing. You see him peel the skin off somebody's head, and then he starts dancing and waving at them, or they start crying, and he's like, he just, the dude, David Thornton, he was born to play Art the Clown. Like, you know, if you believe in people having like missions in life, his mission was to play Art the Clown. I'm sure of it. It don't matter how much practice you can't teach this. What he's doing in this character, the way he embodies this character, you can't teach this at no type of film school, nowhere. This man was, this character was catered to David Thornton. From the mannerism, his charisma, the personality that he brings to the character. Like, it was a scene where like Art the Clown had just like killed the whole house, and he just starts eating milk and cookies and washing dishes. Like, you just killed the whole house of people. Like, this whole house is bloody, and you know, you still got manners. Like, it was just crazy to me. So I will say this about the movie. Even though it lacked a lot with the storyline, I was uncomfortable. I think that their mission was to push the buttons and make people as uncomfortable as they can, and they nailed it right on the head with that. I was uncomfortable for 90% of this movie. Like, most of this movie, I was like grabbing the sides of my chair in the movie theater, and I was just kind of drawn back like, what the hell am I watching? But I didn't want to stop watching it. It was like a thing where it's like, I feel like I shouldn't be watching this sick shit, but I can't get enough of it. The most disturbing scene to me, I think, was when Samantha and Art the Clown was like in this demonic hibernation. If you watch the trailer, you'll see it in the trailer where he's sitting in the chair and he's smiling and he's just being like completely still, and the camera gets real close on his face. That scene right there. I haven't been more disturbed at a movie scene since Human Centipede Sequence 2, when the pregnant chick snatches away from the centipede little situation and runs to the car and gives birth in the car. Like, I haven't been more disturbed at a movie scene since that. I'll say this. It was a piece of broken mirror, Samantha with that mangled face being turned on, and she got herself off. I'll just leave it at that. I was blown away. From the rat scene to the bar scene. One thing I will say, they lied. They didn't top the bedroom scene. The shower scene was some crazy shit too. The shower scene really took me back. I was like, God damn. I'm looking around at everybody in the movie theater and everybody kind of looking at each other like, what the hell? The shower scene, it definitely was probably the most brutal scene in that movie. But it still didn't top the bedroom scene. People are lying about that. The first 10 minutes of that movie don't top the bedroom scene, and that shower scene do not top that bedroom scene. I don't care what nobody say. I still haven't seen anything in a movie more brutal than that bedroom scene. I mean, he skinned the chick alive and poured salt and bleach on her. Like, you're not topping it. Like, the only way you can top that is if you go into some twisted, weird shit. But one thing I didn't like about this movie was the whole supernatural scheme that they went. I think they went too deep into the supernatural scheme. And I think I get it for what's going on. But I wasn't really a fan of the supernatural scene or how it was ending. Like the final scene of the movie, I didn't really care for it. But I don't think I care for the ending of Terrifier 2 that much either, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think I did. I think I'm tripping. But I didn't care for the ending of that movie, of Terrifier 3. One thing I will say is, I like the nostalgia it gives you, because I can't really tell you what this movie was about, because they didn't stick really, like the story really wasn't there. I think they should have spent more time on maybe having Art the Clown chasing Sienna and Jonathan around and them trying to escape them. I think they should have did that a little bit more. Maybe that would have made it a little better, but that's just my opinion. And maybe them escaping him and him killing other people along the way, as well as going through the school and all that. I think they should have focused a little bit more on that than having her at the house and the little bullshit scenes with Jonathan. I think that's where it kind of got lost. They should have focused more on the killing and Art the Clown. But the scenes you do get of Art the Clown are like the best parts of the movie. And I think Art, we tired of Jason. Jason that kind of died off. Finally, Michael Myers has got old and got his ass whooped. Scream, we about tired of that. It's like Sydney old. Gail face don't even move no more. She had a hella plastic surgery. I don't know what's going on with her. Chucky's in the wind somewhere kissing people on his TV show. Like, that's a whole nother story. So I appreciate this new submerge of a slasher villain. And he is turning into a horror icon right in front of our eyes. Like, I think he's going to carry this, like, everybody that's coming out with a slasher movie is probably going to go back to the writer's table and try to make sure that they know what they're doing, because they just set the tone with this movie. Like, they just set the tone. I don't think you're going to see a movie more bloody or disgusting ever in the movie theater for like the next 2-3 years, because I haven't seen one like this besides Thanksgiving, and this top Thanksgiving. And I like Thanksgiving. So I rate this one, like I said, I like the Terrifier 2 better than this one. I gave Terrifier 2 like an 8.9 out of 10, especially with being low budget and a strong story. This story lacked a lot, but kill scenes and Art the Clown just carried the movie so well. So I give this one like a 7.9, 8.1 out of 10. I'm looking forward to Terrifier 4 to see how this character grows. And y'all stay spooky.